She scrambles over steep slopes and gnarled roots, her heavy steps leaving deep prints in the mud, yet her voice remains as light and cheerful as a breeze. I packed a lantern, canteen, and biscuits, along with Inu Sven's notebook, though I already had every word practically memorized, and set off to track those miraculous prehistoric tree stump fossils. A congregation of silent woodland shadows embedded in the soil witnesses to over 380 million years of history. If fossils could speak, I imagine they'd tell the most wondrous bedtime stories.
Look!
This marked my first true expedition. He was convinced if we ventured deep enough into the wilderness, kept going until the trees and mountains hugged us, then we would find it. The Mother Spirit whispered to me, and I followed in the promise of unnamed wonders.
Calm down. Oh dear!
Nautika surges forward, sliding down the slope and, despite her stumbling, charging toward the faint promise of a miracle.
Come on, hurry up!
Her little hand waves frantically over the top of a distant hillside. Perhaps, they think, she has found something after all. They follow her up and then down the slope. In the biting cold, their hot breath unfurls behind them. My great-grandfather wrote in his journal as he traveled along the Mackenzie River that most expeditions fail to yield what was originally sought. The Mother Spirit pities her children lost in the wilderness. She veils her guidance in turmoil, reserving it until the end of their journey.
Hmm?
It's a reindeer calf mauled by some predator. It lies slumped under the roots of a tree. Nautika reaches her hand out to feel for its breath. It's clear that it's near death.
Listen.
She kneels and unscrews her canteen to offer the fading creature a final drink. The calf convulses as it lifts its neck to gulp the water, its flickering eyes holding both agony and desperate hope.
But... I know.
As she looks down into its black crystal eyes, she still feels a strength of spirit behind them. She struggles to lift the calf. Her friends look on, weighing their decisions on whether to help her in her stubbornness. Even with Freely's help, the calf's weight is awkward. Earth sticks to their boots as they climb, making the burden all the heavier. That day, we failed to find any prehistoric forest fossils. But on the way back, I carried that dying calf in my arms. We walked quickly, afraid that we might feel the last twitches of her life with every step. Yet she held on all the way until we found Atja, and together we stitched up the wounds on her belly. For the rest of the week, my body ached so much I could barely move. I felt like I was weighed down by a very massive weight, but the calf survived. I have to go back to the mountains, the forests, the glaciers. I have to find what I failed to find the first time. There.
Aja!
She snaps her diary shut. It can wait. Sharing with her Atja comes first. She throws her arms wide to size up the problem, tracing the largest circle she can make. Silently waiting among the forests, its crown frozen in time. Fallen leaves that once nourished those resting beneath it millions of years ago. He sketches the fossil Nautika just described on a piece of scrap paper. Seasoned researchers like Rolf always have a knack for quick, precise drawings. He adds a young explorer beneath the tree, cheering in triumph at having finally reached her goal.
Wow!
She looks down to see the little reindeer calf, now recovered, nipping at her sleeve.
Aja!
She strokes the calf's head, already planning her next expedition, the emotions of the previous one lingering at the edge of her mind.
Oh, and...
Hello.
The little explorer's plans are interrupted.
Got it.
The door opens, then softly shuts to keep the coming news at bay for now. The messenger wears a troubled expression, crumpling the document in his hands as he whispers his report to the expedition leader.
It's ridiculous.
Rolf falls silent for a moment, his eyes glinting with calculations beneath his gray eyebrows.
That's too far. But
the young researcher is speechless. Through the window, they see his granddaughter bent over her map, bobbing her head joyfully as she drafts her next great adventure.
Aja!
The excitement over her grandfather's heading to Antarctica steals away all chance of sleep. Day and night, she pores over the materials: her great-grandfather's journals, explorers' biographies, research papers, and specimen photos. She closes her eyes, not to sleep, but to imagine herself crunching over those far-off glaciers, new questions popping up with every step.
But...
For now, she swallows her curiosity, puffs her cheeks, and blows out the candle. This is it. My 15th birthday. Old enough to register for the race. And just in time too, because I have my own reindeer now. I even carved her a name tag. But there 3 something more important: Aja's leaving for Antarctica again. Oh, I wish he'd take me with him. If only I turned 19 today instead. A wreath woven from white Arctic flowers and bright bluebells nestled into green boughs, a prize for bravery. There stands Nautika, the girl they watched grow up, gripping the reins for the first time at the starting line. Both she and her reindeer seem a size smaller than the other competitors. The crowd compensates with showers of cheers, encouragement, and affection. The starter raises both arms, whistle already pressed to his lips. One sharp breath will send the reindeer charging across the tundra. Nautika grips the reins. Her heart is pounding.
Acha, if I...
If I'd found the fossil that day, if I'd shown you I was ready to be a real researcher, would you have decided to take me with you? And if I do win this race? If I prove that I have the courage and strength to do it? Will you change your mind? The whistle blows, cheers erupt, and a cloud of snow bursts up beneath the reindeer's hooves. The momentum lifts Nautika straight into the air. The questions she wants to ask, her grandfather's concerned face, everything is left behind in the wind. They overtake every reindeer, every competitor. Against the howling wind, Nautika feels the trembling in her legs as she steers her skis. She looks up again. The little reindeer pulling her is all but swallowed up in the blinding glare of powdery snow. Pride and fear swell in her chest as she attempts to rein her in. The reindeer drives forward, her head low, losing all sense of direction and swinging off course. Backslash.
Slow down! No, stop!
She clutches the reins hard, trying to wrest back control, but it's too late. Before she knows it, the reindeer has pulled her down the slope and into the snow-covered redwoods. Branches whip at her, slicing her face with every stinging lash. Her vision shakes violently until the cliff's edge, until her feet leave the ground. Her feet slam to the ground once more, the snow thankfully absorbing the impact off her weight. Darkness begins to creep in. If I do win the race. Dusk is falling. The Retha's leaves are dulling fast in the fading light, its soft petals curling inward and wilting ominously. His face is a mix of piety and fear. The track this year was a mess of slush, many competitors slipped and fell over the course of the race. But it was the youngest competitor who drew the most attention, with her lightning-fast start and quick disappearance into thin air. Excitement turned to confusion, then slowly to panic, as it became clear their would-be winner had gone missing. Snowfields, slopes, woods. Searchlights flare, but the swirling snow swallows their beams, and the howling of the wind shreds every shout. The growing flurry buries any clues, yet hope clings stubbornly in their chests. Nautika is nowhere to be found. Time is ruthless and consuming. Nautika's life, and her people's hopes, flicker like a candle in the wind. "5 days on from her disappearance, just as the ship to Antarctica is about to set sail, unexpected news arrives. Every day since that day, he has prayed to his goddess, pleading for her mercy. Nautika appears at the door, trembling, hollow-eyed. She's barefoot, her clothes stained with blood. He envelopes her in his arms. Just to feel the faint breath rising in her chest feels like a miracle. His unwavering faith hears an answer. Perhaps she had lingered too long at the edge of death to feel any joy in surviving. Only her grandfather's voice, calling her name again and again, yanks her back from the dark's edge. I'd never missed a single day before then, not since I first began writing in this diary. I wrote every detail of my life. But now, this habit scares me. One force myself to write down every detail only to black it all out later. I'm doubting everything now. I doubt myself. I doubt how I could have survived. I even doubt the mother spirit. The days bleeding in the cold have left her in a delirious state. She drifts in and out of consciousness, not knowing. The days bleeding in the cold have left her in a delirious state. She drifts in and out of consciousness, not knowing whether she's still out in the wilderness or safe in her bed. So, she continues to pray to the mother spirit. But, then, her prayers break off, as if she has brushed against something deeper, something forbidden and dark.
Mother Spirit.
Then comes the unbearable pain, creeping up from her legs, coiling around her gut, and clawing into her stomach. My stomach was yelling at me from the inside. I'd never known true hunger before. It was painful, no, agonizing. I'd endured bitter cold and the ultimate exhaustion. I thought I could take on every challenge until that moment. Death's hand had brushed up against me, and I became the most selfish creature alive. He touches his granddaughter's pallid forehead, his brow furrowed in worry. His hands are rough and warm, the calluses telling tales of years spent gripping an ice axe. The government ship is waiting for their leader to begin the search for treasures they would forge into power and authority. A child just turned 15, still innocent and frail, shouldn't be worried with such things.
I don't want it anymore.
Rolf never could have imagined hearing such words from his granddaughter's lips. Her passion for exploration has always burned even brighter than his own. I never thought I'd ever say something like that. Was it my brush with death that changed me? One had this gut feeling that Atja's Antarctic expedition wouldn't be what I imagined. It's not a pilgrimage to our spiritual homeland, nor some purely scientific mission to unravel geological mysteries. So, then, what is it? FL. These words throw Rolf off balance. Then, he lays a rough hand over her delicate one. His granddaughter understands much more than he'd realized. His gaze drifts to the eye window, as if already locking eyes with his faraway destination, his voice growing distant and cold. My passion for nature, my curiosity about the world, my pursuit of history, it all came from Seven Atja. Long before I ever set out on my own journey, before I began my lifelong search, I prayed for his safe freedom, the man who walked the path I yearned to follow. And I was a part of his journey, too. A star to guide him home. The ship lets out a thunderous roar. And with that, the Antarctic voyage begins.
Mother Spirit.
Her prayer is redoubled with conviction and concern. News returns to them long before the ship does. Some died on the journey, lost to storms or illness, and others at their destination. Their notices were brief, emotionless, and clinical, reporting the end of a life as if it were the results of a test. She came to a dreadful conclusion as their team dwindled away. That this faceless, nameless specter reporting each teammate's death was none other than the expedition leader, her Atja. Nautika is exactly as I imagined, cruel in its mystery. It never asks where its visitors are from, it doesn't care. Mother Spirit, maybe we never had your permission, but we've never known how to stop, how to stifle our urge to explore. I beg for your mercy. I know that we're foolish and weak, drowning in a swamp of ignorance as we struggle toward the light. But I can't believe that we were just born to die. One bleak day, the ship returns. The villagers crowd around, peering behind Rolf in some strange hope that each reported death had been an error or a bad dream. But he stands there as the sole survivor, staggering toward the roiling mass of hopeless faces, the weight of every fallen companion on his shoulders. No one holds him accountable for the lives lost. He has earned their trust 1,000 times over, but there are burning questions in every set of eyes. They had chosen this peril knowingly. The Mother Spirit lets each of her children walk their own path to find meaning even in death. At last the weight off I's journey seems to snap his last supports, and he sinks to his knees. Rolf lifts his head, looking out at the crowd gathering around him or perhaps beyond. His expression glows with something unearthly, his eyes both hollow and alive. At last, he flashes them all an unhinged smile. The next second, he pushes himself upright, lifts his head, and raises one hand high. Light gathers in his palm as he clenches a stone.
A little stone.
A heavy silence falls, but Nautika steps forward, drawn to the stone despite the ravings of this man who only seems to resemble her grandfather. Her gaze holds on it. Everyone else concluded that Atja never really returned from Antarctica, but there were times, when I still saw him, moments where he became himself again. Only Freely and Elle were there to see it. In those times, JCR told us about everything he discovered on his journey. That was one of the last times she saw her grandfather in any real sense. His expression was so clear. She clutches tightly at his sleeve. Together, they crack open the stone to glimpse what lies within. The old man removes his glasses, wiping tears away with childlike wonder.
It's beautiful.
At these words, Nautika looks over her grandfather in astonishment. This isn't some pessimistic fear. She's certain that in this moment he has foreseen his own end, much like the premonitions he had before leaving for Antarctica.
That can't be true.
I prayed for the Mother Spirit's grace to fall upon Atja. It seemed to me that despite all that had happened, he had nearly grasped the key to the mystery. After all, he'd been touched by the Mother Spirit's light, hadn't he? That's why we got to see that precious little stone. One had to believe it with all my heart, but after that day, the Atja that I loved was gone, and L7 could only cling to the memory of this final night when his mind was clear. That's what kept me going as I pushed past every obstacle that stood in my way. It was on that final night of lucidity that he solemnly threaded the stone onto a pendant and placed it around his granddaughter's neck. Her grandfather gazes at the stone with wonder but no sense of recognition, his mental torment overwhelming the last light of wisdom in his eyes. His skin clings to his bones, as if the soul that should have filled his flesh has already withdrawn and dissipated. Then from those hollow eyes, tears begin to fall. Even if thought for 1,000 years, I never would have imagined a day when Atja would abandon everything that mattered most to him. Even so, I will pursue the unknown no matter where it takes me. I'll search for the truth. And if I find it, if I bring it back, will it be enough to wake him? Everything there is not. Lust empty tales. Just empty tales. All she can do is sigh. Those final words seem to pierce straight through her soul. In that instant, she is wrenched out of childhood forever. Just as her grandfather had once done for her, she reaches out and touches his icy forehead. The sharp polar winds steal heat, steal strength, steal lives. The lives of everyone she had ever known and loved. And now they threaten to steal her last flickers of hope.
I didn't. It wasn't me.
In these final moments, she argues with herself.
Is that all their lives were worth?
The snow rises over her knees. Each step is labored. The snow swallows her eyes. The world goes dark. Point 4. Underscore.
I don't know.
Tears stream. Black tears. They trail down her cheeks, her neck, her body. A searing pain follows. She knows this agony well.
I can't stop here.
She reaches into the void ahead as thick, black sludge surges up to claim her. She is on the brink of annihilation, her soul like a dying candle in the night.
Mother Spirit, hear my prayer.
Her voice fades. Then light. It falls upon her at the last moment. Her body is already gone. Soon, her soul will be too. All that remains is a wisp of consciousness, if it can even still be called Nautika. The light shines around her. And in its glow, she finally sees where she is. A pulsing stomach filled with viscous black fluid. Countless souls have been digested here. She is simply one more. She seems to be nothing but consciousness now, if even that, yet she still clutches a pendant to her chest.
Nautika.
Nearly dissolved into the sludge around her, she confesses her sins, though her repentance is far from pure.
I don't know.
A thought like that is indigestible to the darkness. It leaves her to wander, weak but persistent. Her faint consciousness drifts blindly through the dark, searching for a diary that has already written its last day. Then, a sound. A faint rustling, nearly drowned out by the stomach's contractions. A thick, weathered diary is half sunken in the black sludge, its pages promising to bear faithful witness to all that happened. She crawls toward it, this fellow captive of the darkness, only for the diary to suddenly burst into flames.
What?
She bows her head as the floral wreath slips past her eyes and falls triumphantly over her chest. A medal, roaring cheers, and thunderous applause, all for a child who, on her very first try, has claimed victory at the reindeer race.
But I won the race.
Years of mental frenzy have long silenced the once wise and fearless expedition leader.
You have to trust me.
They embrace, just as they did on their first adventure. Even though they know their journey will be unlike any before. The spirit asks with confusion and an alien sort of honesty. In the deepest darkness, these souls begin to burn with their own light, searing through the vast, pulsing stomach. A radiant gate swings open a distant passage ending in a bright light. Her vision is already fixed on the gate. It seems so like the stories of the Mother Spirit's welcome, a light at the end of the path where all her children will be led when they have nowhere left to turn.
Mother Spirit.
The memory gives her pause. Without a body, her drifting consciousness needs only to resolve itself to make a choice. But this fleeting wisp that might scatter at the slightest breath still cannot let go of the illusion of home.
I need to think.
other wisps drift away, while she wavers at the edge of decision. She wanders through the mirage of her homeland, retracing the path of her first expedition, that ill-fated venture she remembers all too well. She also remembers the moment her voice escapes her lips, the reindeer calf drinking from the puddle stops, startled. She locks her alert eyes with Nautika, then turns to leave.
Wait!
The wisp of consciousness flutters after her. The world surrounding her feels so real, as if she's a child again, bounding through spring meadows.
This is...
A grave lies under a solemn tree. A breeze stirs, and the woven cloth tied to the branches brushes her face. A handcrafted fabric. A token of mourning in her homeland's funerary rites.
I don't seem to remember.
A name, carved in clumsy strokes, marks the mossy stone. Here lies a story unfinished, its last chapter written too soon. The wisp follows the calf through the landscapes of her home. Cold air meets the warm earth, and the forest breathes out a morning mist. The path ahead quickly becomes shrouded in a thick fog. Luminous souls call her name from a distance.
There has to be another way out.
The calf stops by the riverbank. The two of them look out across the water, seeing only more fog beyond it. The fathomless river blocks their way. The calves' hooves scuff against damp earth, hesitant. Her flickering form draws closer to the calf, trying to ignore the tender, urging calls whispering at the edge of her mind. The fog devours the river whole, stealing all vision.
And we...
voice, too, begins to fade. It is now heard only by the calf.
But even without her guidance, we still would have made this journey. It's beautiful. Really? Because...
She scans the water's surface. The fog thins, yet everything else remains blurred. She looks to the gate, its radiant glow cutting through the mist, but she can't bring herself to reach for it.
What?
If her voice carried any sound at all, it would be booming.
No, it may not be the right way, but it's our way.
Over the river, the fog lifts. The water's edge becomes clear, and the calf leaps to the bank without hesitation. She jumps too, in whatever sense a jump has in such a place, hoping to chase after it. But she is no agile forest creature. She plummets into the river. The cold stabs her instantly, the endless, churning water chafing and tearing at her, as if washing away all impurities. It emerges in her memory. This is the same river from all those years ago. The silent calf remains, her guide back into the depths of darkness. In the darkness, she tries to confirm her own existence. She is weak and faint, but thought after thought still forms in her mind. The chains on her soul loosen, and fragments of scattered memories arise. At last, their names return to her.
I have to keep going.
Keep going. A thing easier said than done. The black sludge creeps back over her mind. She's still being digested. This might be the hardest part of her trek, with no clear direction and the last of her strength bleeding away. The darkness swallows her wave after wave, dampening the thoughts flickering at the edge of being. Yet, despite the terror of the moment, she doesn't pray. She wraps herself around that stone, the miracle, heavier now than whatever is left of her. 4 weathered bone fragments lie amid the wild tundra grass.
Aja.
The lean scholar and his young grandchild stand together in a vast and silent expanse. He wipes his glasses with his sleeve, then moves closer to examine the bones. L. He smiles at her naive question. 7. Around the bones, where the flesh has rotted away, daisies now bloom. The wind has carried away the rest, scattering it across distant lands and seas.
Wow! In death, we freed our tired, tattered flesh and returned life's power to nature's mesh. The rain and wind, our heralds, call us home. To mother's arms, we rest, no more to roam.
The child pauses. Her innocence has left her unprepared for such a question. But then, a pure desire spills forth. Underscore.
I'll protect it.
She stares at the reindeer's bones and, in the boundlessness of her imagination, makes underscore a small wish.
Aja.
A long time passes before she realizes that she's no longer in a memory. Her grandfather's phantom hangs just out of reach. She staggers toward him, still holding on to hope.
But... I will pursue the unknown, no matter where it takes me.
The phantom doesn't stir. Until, after what feels like an eternity, a smile of relief crests his lips. He embraces her and whispers a single word. And the phantom is gone. She moves toward the exit, while true memories drip back to her like snow settling in her open palms. Dagny remains still.
That's right. How I've missed you.
She speaks the truth of this long-departed friend, finding that her words have sound once more. The calf lingers, gazing into the distance. This is the final revelation. Then, she bows her head and dissolves into the darkness.
Goodbye.
She turns to the last path. There, a pool blacker than darkness itself waits at the edge of the void. This time, she doesn't hesitate. She wades in, slow and resolute. She reaches the edge of the darkness and peers into the unfathomable water.
I came here for an answer. What's at the end of this road?
She touches the darkness, waiting for its response. Nothingness. When reality confirms her premonition, all that remains is pure sorrow. Tears stream. Drop by drop, rim page in the mix mumble.
Acha. I'll protect it.
Images appear in the dark water.
I became a part of it.
The reflection in the water is clearer now. She wipes the tears from her eyes. reflection extends a wordless invitation to her. Even as she wipes her last tears away, fresh ones fall. Tearfully, she smiles just like the reflection in the water.
Come back to me.
She's determined. Her consciousness breaks free from the eroding waves of darkness, flickering with a renewed, if faint, glow. Then, toward her reflection, she leaps into the depths of the pool.